Suddenly, she screamed and swung the hatchet into Lane's head, overcome with an urge to use it, to hurt someone, to kill someone. Join Slenderman's ranks.
So Slenderman, if you're out there, then please recruit me. I'd love to become your servant forever and ever. If there's one thing I've always loved, it's scary stuff. For some strange reason. But that means I also like urban legends. Today we are hopefully going to learn something new about a very old and well-known urban legend, Slenderman.
Want to hear something scary? Deadly servants. Happy New Year.
Deadly.
Hope 2022 is off to a good start. And the scariest thing that will happen to anyone is an episode of this podcast. Most of all, we here at Snarl
Let's
Do
hope
Something
so.
Scary wish you good health and happiness. And thank you so much for being part of our community. We are so grateful for the opportunity to be with you
I am also so grateful that you all join me on this incredible journey.
every week. You'll never know the horrors you're truly capable of until you're forced to unleash your inner beast.
I agree with that. I also think that it's hard to know what we're truly capable of until we've been put into that situation. For example, I know it's very extreme, but taking someone's life. Sure, we can say that there's no way we'd do that, but at the same time, with the right conditions, who knows what we're truly capable of.
Lane and Alani were walking home late on New Year's Eve after a party. It was Lane's idea to take a shortcut through the woods, using the light of their cell phones to help see the way.
Always a good
The
idea.
ground was icy and very slippery, but Lane was stubborn and refused to admit the path was dangerous. They were about halfway through the thick trees when they heard a branch snap behind them. "Hello?" called out Lane, confident as ever. There was no reply, but there was another noise. Lane was about to ask again when out of nowhere, a figure appeared with a hatchet. It was a young teen in pigtails and a dirty blue school uniform.
I'm sorry, but like a young girl in her teens with a hatchet, that kind of reminds me of Yunagasai from Future Diary.
School uniform. Suddenly, she screamed and swung the hatchet into Lane's head.
Ooh.
Alani tried to scream, but a hand clamped over her mouth from behind, and she was knocked out cold. When she woke up, she was surrounded by shadowy figures. She stood up slowly, realizing she was still in the woods. Her head throbbed. Leaning against a tree for support, Alani noticed the young woman.
I mean, at least she can't complain. At least she didn't get a hatchet to her head like her friend did. So it could be a lot worse.
Wearing a ripped mask over her nose and mouth. "A pleasure to have some new blood." She motioned for Alani
As
to follow
always.
her. Alani obeyed. More of the figures had appeared. Alani whimpered as she was dragged into the circle of people. One wore a beige trench coat and a white mask. There was also the teen with pigtails, wearing a filthy and now bloody blue school uniform. And another
Now bloody? I thought it was already bloody.
person with gray skin, no eyelids, no hair. Despite their odd appearances, it was the final being who caused her stomach to drop. He stood over 8 feet tall, with a
Slenderman.
face as blank as death.
Finally.
His limbs and torso were long and slender. The tall, thin man advanced and raised a hand. Alani was paralyzed. Suddenly, her eyes started to close, head still swimming. She fell to the ground, unconscious again.
Ooh.
When she awoke in a darkened room,
That seems so
something
interesting.
was very different. She felt changed. Looking down, she
What
saw she was
changed?
now wearing black leather gloves. Her festive party dress was now a dark trench coat. She was wearing military fatigues and military-type boots. Most surprisingly of all was a 3-foot sword in a sheath at her waist.
Okay, now I want to become Slenderman's servant. I want a sword.
sword in a sheath at her waist. She drew the weapon and admired how the blue and
Lucky.
silver blade caught the moonlight coming in through a
Yeah,
window.
I'd be admiring
And
too.
she was overcome with an urge to use it, to hurt someone, to kill someone. Alani turned to see the teen with pigtails. She handed over a mask and grinned. Alani examined it. "Put on the mask," Pigtails insisted.
Why?
"Join Slenderman's ranks." Unable to control her actions in a nightmare, Alani screamed as her hands acted on their own accord. Her scream cut off as her own hands pulled the mask over her face. All remaining thoughts about her past were wiped clean.
That kind of reminds me of High Rise Invasion. You know, you put on a mask and you automatically need to kill people and your like mind gets reprogrammed. Or the goth masks. But like still you can't tell me that this isn't like that. Cause it so obviously is. Boom. Finally. I figured out who the mastermind is.
All memories were replaced, and she felt the certainty of her new purpose, a surging strength and desire to kill. Pigtails watched her, her head cocked to the side like a bird. "Now you will serve as an agent of Slenderman,
Hell
obeying
yeah.
all that is instructed." Alani nodded, picking up her new weapon, the sword.
I mean, at this point, this. I would go for it. It sounds way better than my life. Like, can I, like, willingly become Slenderman's servant? Because, literally, this seems awesome.
Picking up her new weapon, the sword, watching as her colleagues, her new family, entered the room. She turned to look at herself in the mirror. Her eyes glowed in different colors, one amber, the other all black. "Let's spill some blood," she said
Hell
hollowly.
yeah.
Only serving Slenderman's will remained. She no longer remembered her past life. Olani was gone. She now lived for
I'd be
the
fine with
thrill
that.
of purging those that did not follow him. The group exited the woods, heading for the festively decorated houses in the
Ooh.
distance, towards the sounds of New Year's gatherings and other parties. Her new life as an agent of Slenderman had begun. This new year would belong to him and his now loyal minions. He controlled her now, and she would kill or die for him. No questions asked.
I'm not kidding. At this point, I'd love to become Slenderman's servant. Like, especially if 2022 is his year, if he's actually real. Then, Slenderman, call me up. I'll willingly become your servant. You can brainwash me if you want. But you need to promise me that I'll get a sword. I'll be fine with anything else. I mean it. If I get a sword, I'll be happy. So Slenderman, please make me yours. That's all I'm asking. And maybe a dog. Yeah, that sounds fine. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if any of you would like to become Slenderman's servant with me, then don't forget to comment down below that you'd like to become Slenderman's servant, and we could create an army together. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.